Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you the colors of the Stencil Butters. TCW just released 9 new colors of Stencil Butters and I love them. But now I have 20 of them, so it's time to get organized and I thought I'd bring you along. So I printed off the names of the 20 butters that I have and I printed it on sticker paper. This is going to make it easy peasy down the road. And I'm going to swatch out all the colors of Stencil Butters. Now, swatching it out is necessary in my mind because when you have more than one yellow or more than one green, you want to be able to tell the difference of them, and you want to be able to look at them easily and see what they would go with. And swatching them out is a great way of doing that because you're actually using the color. You're not looking at the color through the container. And with the Stencil Butters, since they have this wonderful pearlized sheen, you really want to see what that looks like. And swatching it out works wonderfully well. So I grabbed Gamboge, what's one of the older colors, and I painted it in that square. This is Apricot. This is one of the new colors. Now, some of the new ones have the pearlization in them, but there are different degrees of pearlization I find in some of them. They're not as bright as the first release of colors, but that's what I love because you can maximize the use. You can pick the perfect yellow for whatever you're doing. So this part of the video I've only sped up a little bit because I want you to get a good look at the colors so that you can see what they have and think what you might want to get. So if you're in the market for these Stencil Butters, you can get them at NinnysNapkins.com. There's just a link in the description box and a coupon code. You can also order them direct from TCW, the Crafters Workshop, and there's a link in the description box below as well. They come separately and they also come in packs of 4. So this is yellow ochre and I use a lot of yellow oxide, so I was very happy to see that color. As I said, the Stencil Butters all have this wonderful pearlized, frosty kind of look to them. And you really have to swatch them out to see that. You can't see that when you just look at the container or flip the container upside down. This is Marigold Crimson. Now, with the Stencil Butters, you can mix them with paints that you have in your stash. You could use pigment powders as well to alter the shades or tweak it to make it the absolute perfect color for what you're doing. I find the Stencil Butters play very well with all the products in my stash. This is one of the new colors, Barn Door, and it's a deeper, a blue red, whereas Crimson is more an orange red. I can see using Barn Door for Christmas. This is Fuchsia, one of my favorite colors. Now, some of these Stencil Butters I've had for, I think, 3 years when they first came out. And the consistency has changed somewhat. I'm not so sure that's not user error on my part, not closing them up correctly. But I found that if I sprayed a little water and mixed them up, they came back to life, and even as they were, they still work perfectly well. Eggplant is one of the new colors, and you can see the difference between eggplant and orchid. Ocean blue is an old one, and denim blue is one of the new ones. Loving that color. Fern is a light green that I am so happy to see, and chartreuse is a lighter version, more yellowy. Turquoise, my all-time favorite. Now, if you haven't played with Stencil Butters, they blend incredibly well. If you mix the terre verte with the orchid, you will get another color. If you mix the fuchsia with the chartreuse or the gamboge, you're going to get a wonderful coral color. So play around with what you have and mix other colors. It's just trial and error. Try them together. If it gives you a color you want, remember that and use it. We've got two browns, terracotta and chocolate, champagne gold. Now there are three other colors that I do not have: copper penny, black tie, and platinum. So we have the champagne gold, copper, and platinum, and this lovely pearl white, which if you mix it with any color is going to really pearlize it. So there is the full swatch. Now I'm going to cut that up and label my containers, but as an alternative, or I might actually come back and redo this, I can keep this, hole punch it, and keep all my color swatches in one place. That way I can mix and match them with other color mediums that I have in my stash, or I could pull it out and easily find the absolute right shade of green or pink or red for the project that I'm working with. For example, if I have a napkin and I have a focal image and I want to pull the colors for my background from the napkin, I can pull out this swatch sheet and use it to match. So swatching out your colors helps you learn what you have, and I find it really maximizes the use of those products. Because in one sweep of the eye, you see all the colors that you have. Now, stencil butters are the consistency of butter that's on the counter. They're kind of between some modeling pastes and gesso. They're not liquid, but they're softer than many of the modeling pastes. How do you use stencil butters? Well, you're in luck. I just made a video where I do 5 different projects using the stencil butters in 10 different ways. That's right, you heard me right. 10 different ways. There's more than one way to use these stencil butters, and I'm going to walk you through them and demonstrate it on several different pages. So if you're not a subscriber to my channel, subscribe by hitting the icon in the lower right hand corner. Then click on the bell and select the option to be notified of upcoming videos. What that means is when I post a video, when I publish a video, you will get a notification that that video is now up. You'll get a thumbnail of it, and you can decide that's something I'm interested in or that's something I'm not interested in. Stencil Butter, or TCW, have also created these 4 Stardust Butters, which are like Stencil Butters, but they have glitter in them. And that's what you see on the top right-hand side of this basket. I'll probably be showing you how to use those as I play. So let's get back to labeling. So I grabbed out my Tim Holtz cutter. This is the perfect size for these little jobs. I'm saving all the excess sticker paper. I will colorize these and pattern these and then use them in my art journaling. Nothing goes to waste. Then I'm just going to cut these to size and lay them on top of all the correct colors. Now, if I was making a sheet, I would reorganize them so their colors are like this. The reds and oranges together, and with the yellows, all the purples together, so that you can very easily see them side by side on the swatch sheet. I knew I was cutting mine up. So here I have all the 20 colors and the Stardust Butters as well, and they fit in this basket from the Dollar Tree. Now, if I wanted to use my Stencil Butters and I was using them a lot, I would let it have the space that this takes because it's easily accessible. But I don't have the space, so I am going to stack them up in this somewhat smaller but taller bin. But that's just the practicality of a smaller craft room space. So be sure to come back and check out the video, 10 ways to use Stencil Butters. You're not going to want to miss that one. Bye for now.